men's 3,000
Well, we're just about to look at Matt Hess, but we're switching very quickly back to the track and the women's 3,000 metres.
Perhaps that's because Max Hess is doing all right. This is Eamon Michal, married to Adele Michal. He did go public and say that they had lost relations in the earthquake. It's been a tough week for Michal. You can see her here indicating that. Enough training in Sierra Nevada with her husband, but it could be a tough day here for
we pause in lane number 2. The
Constanza Costa-Haufen with that blue bib. She's the fastest in Europe. Brilliant 5,000 metres gold medal in Munich in front of that home crowd. Great silver in the cross country behind Carolina Kelly.
4 times the national champion Christensen of Sweden.
Across the line up here, also Marina Machado. European age group bronze medalist. Ludovica Cavalli of Italy goes here as well. She's the only woman that's doubling in the 15 and the 3K. 8:44 her new season's best and personal best. Mishmash Drimsek as well, DQ'd in 2021 for stepping on the inside of the track. She wants to make amends for that here. 3-minute kilometres would be very nice for the first couple of K, and then they can have a race. Probably won't get any help from some of the athletes with faster personal best. Constanza Costa-Haufen front round the German championships in her first indoor race, 8:34. I didn't even know she was doing an indoor season necessarily. That came through a couple of weekends ago at those national championships. And thought, alright, Costa-Haufen is in shape. She pretty much front ran an 8:35-36 in Birmingham a couple of weeks ago. It was that World Indoor Tour final. There were athletes around. She did have the lights, but she was pretty much on her own. Constanza Costa-Haufen happy to run at a respectable pace here.
In Germany.
No, she loves the front run. And for Constanza Costa-Haufen, it's probably quite easy. But the rest of the women are going to be delighted.
Well, the first 200 metres in 35:24, and Costa-Haufen has pretty decent pace for a heat of a European indoors. And they're all in single file just behind her. As you were saying, it falls quite neatly, and there's already, I think, a little bit of daylight. No, maybe it's a slight illusion. I'm just looking across the track. But Costa-Haufen doing a really good stint at the front there. 70:51 for 400 metres. And there's a bit of daylight between her and Hannah Nuttall. And then we go back to Richardson. Well, Camilla Richardson was running a half marathon recently, just a couple of weeks ago, and she's really dropped down, and she's set a personal best of just inside 70 minutes at the half marathon. She's got a really good range as Camilla Richardson, hasn't got much of a turn of speed, so if she wants to keep this tempo going, the finish is to get through to the final, but it's Costa-Haufen towing them once again. Just to keep you up to date with the splits, 600 metres, 1:46.31, so pretty useful pace from the German as Cavalli follows her, and Hannah Nuttall in third, Camilla Richardson in fourth. Those are the leaders at the moment. Perez also well up there. At this stage, most of the main contenders looking comfortable, but this is a good pace.
Interesting move from Cavalli. I think she sensed a gap between Hannah Nuttall and Constanza Costa-Haufen. The Italian went, nope, I'm getting right on the coattails of Costa-Haufen. They've moved through 800 metres now, one more lap and we'll get that all-important kilometre split. As I said, 3 minutes per kilometre is 9 minutes. It's very respectable. And this opening heat is going to be well under.
In Istanbul, a world
same as you said, Phil, Camilla Richardson of Finland. I was thinking if they hung around at all, someone that's been racing half marathons in the last few weeks, surely she'd be the one to push it on. But luckily for Camilla Richardson, she's got Constanza Costa-Haufen to do that for her. So we're just going to come up to the kilometre mark here. Not crazy fast. The clock stops at around about 2:57 for the kilometre. So that's very nice. It's very respectable. 8:50. They'll be able to kick off this, but it will sort of wiggle it down ever so slightly. Mariana Machado, for me, the athlete, starting to maybe make the cut. No, to the naked eye actually in the stadium. All the athletes very much still in contention. Minimal gaps between this single file field.
But at the moment, Costa-Haufen Really looking good at this stage.
So Klosterhalfen went through 2:21 at the 800 metre point.
6 laps.
Klosterhalfen, Cavelli, Nuttall, headers of Spain in there.
It's
Richardson.
5 laps. Sorry, my counting's gone wrong.
The graphic is wrong. The graphic is a lap behind. I'm just trying to make out.
Thank you. I was
yeah,
wondering there. I was looking around at the lap counter, and I was just thinking I should be able to do quick, simple arithmetic. But
I'm very much hoping that the lap counter is correct, because that would be really tricky if they got that wrong. But I mean, the women will know. They'll know that they're operating around about 9-minute pace. I think that's correct. Having 8 to go there. Get my eye in a bit. It should be 5 to go at around about 6 minutes. Then I'll start to panic and start yelling down to the arena.
You're absolutely right. The clock is right. The lap counter's wrong.
Yes.
So we've worked it out. So if you were confused, we were confused. You're not alone. But it's still very unconfusingly Constanze Klosterhalfen up the front and starting to put a little bit of daylight between herself and Ludovica Cavalli, Hannah Nuttall, Maria Perez behind her. And there you can see it's Constanze Klosterhalfen, a group of 5, then a fairly big gap back to the rest of the field led by Marina Machado. So at the moment it's fairly clear who the leading 6 are. Marina Machado really wants to try and get up there. She's a sub 9-minute runner herself. She can bridge that gap, but whether she can do it here, it's going to require a lot of work, because that gap is starting to get bigger by the lap.
I'm surprised by this. Constanze Klosterhalfen, she's turning the screw ever so slightly. She's probably gone down to 8:45 pace. But there's a lot of athletes in that group behind that have run that. You can see the likes of Michelle and Machado working really hard there. They haven't dropped off that top 6. They still will be fighting for time qualifying marks. Had 3 non-automatic to the top 6 across these 2 heats.
We haven't said very much about her, but up there is Marusa Mizmaz, running under a married name, Marusa Mizmaz Zremcek of Slovenia. Very, very good steeplechase and cross-country runner. We've seen a lot of her at European Athletics Championships, both on the rough stuff and outdoors as well. Also running very well at the moment. She's tagged on at the back of that chasing group of 5 that's about 6-7 metres deficit on Constanze Klosterhalfen. And there you can see her, Klosterhalfen glancing up at the screen, taking account of what's going on behind her, and it's still Cavalli running very, very well at the moment behind her. But Klosterhalfen coming up now, 4 laps to go, and Klosterhalfen looks as though she's well on her way to a comfortable heat win. We were expecting this, as you can see, that very nice ticker on the left-hand side of your screen. Cavalli now ducking between 7, 8, 10 metres behind Klosterhalfen.
5:55 through 2K. Klosterhalfen 2:57, 2:58 or so. The graphic on the screen still a lap behind Thief. Machado working very hard there, back out of the qualifying spots. But it's sensible running from those 5 behind Klosterhalfen. They've done more than enough to separate. You can see them all staring at, willing the big screen to tell them what they want to see. Marta Perez, for me, looking the athlete, working the hardest down there. She has run a time that puts her in with these women. She's just straining, just working a little bit harder. Cavalli, Hannah Nuttall. Hannah Nuttall, of course, coached by Helen Clitheroe. Thrilling gold here back in 2011. Coached by someone that knows how to navigate the European Indoor Championships UK. This time it will be 2 laps, just 400 metres to go. Good move there for the Finnish athlete. All these moves largely unnecessary. Perhaps they realise they're on for a personal best, and you might as well just finish it off. Who knows what will happen in the final tomorrow night? It could be tactical. Camilla Richardson closing up on Constanze Klosterhalfen, Hannah Nuttall going round her as well. They will have looked at the screen so many times. They'll know it's 6 people to automatically qualify. They'll think they can count 6 people, but you never want to be too short. Constanze Klosterhalfen, European 5,000 metre champion in the summer in Munich, takes the bell. She's been in the lead for the entirety of this race. Camilla Richardson put in a real effort over the last 200 metres or so to get herself on terms with Constanze Klosterhalfen. Hannah Nuttall covered that move. Mishma Shrimstak hoping to rectify that DQ she had in Turin 2 years ago for stepping on the inside. Her and Marta Perez working hard for 5th and 6th. These top 4 glide away with 20 metres to go. Klosterhalfen, Richardson, Hannah Nuttall. Valley punches the air. She gets across the line. Mishma Shrimstak and Perez will complete our top 6.
Keep an eye on the time.
Klosterhalfen looking barely out of breath there.
8:53.60.
I'm looking at my screen, we'll see the results coming up very shortly. It's a national record. I wasn't quite sure what it was, but there you can see it confirmed. A national record for Camilla Richardson in 2nd place there. So a great run.
Klosterhalfen, a little bit perhaps like Keely Hodgkinson, just out here stretching her legs. Unlike Hodgkinson, there's no rest day for these women in the 3,000 metres because you can double if you choose to. Said Cavalli, the only athlete choosing to double.
In the field, let's get the qualifying for the women's shot put.
Yes, you can see that Klosterhalfen really did ease off over that final lap and let the rest who were pushing behind them for comfortable qualifying positions. So in the end, just look how comfortable that was for Klosterhalfen.
So results of the first heat, 3,000 metres. Constanze Klosterhalfen, 8:53.5. Camilla Richardson, a new national record for Finland, 8:53.6. Hannah Nuttall just behind in third.
Including the reigning champion.
So the last women's event on the track, and it's the second heat of the women's 3,000 metres, including Yasmin Chan, 4 times European cross-country champion, 2 times European 10,000 metres champion in 2016 and 2022. Quite in the same sort of form. There's Melissa Courtney-Bryant. Won a medal here on previous occasions in the 3,000 metres. Took the bronze a couple of years ago.
Melissa Courtney-Bryant.
6 women in this field who've gone under 9 minutes this year, so perhaps that'll be the dividing point between the qualifiers and the best of the rest.
So a reminder, the
15 laps of the track.
guaranteed a place in the final, but we need the next 3 non-automatic qualifiers, which currently is being led by Michelle of Turkey. She was
Hannah Klein,
number 1 at 9:03.03.
she's second on the European list behind Klosterhalfen, has run 8:36.42 this year. We've also got Nadia Battipletti, the very, very talented Italian runner who's taken no less than 5 age group titles at the Spa European Cross Country Championships.
Wow, it could not be more different than the first race. See, Haji of France, first athlete to lose her patience, but a 10-minute pace rather than 8:50 pace that we saw in the first heat. And well, it's entertaining racing, but I prefer to see it at a final.
I could see you fidgeting there. I could see what was going on between your ears and thinking, I could get out there and do that.
Well, I could run it, manage. Yeah, maybe I'd hang in there for 600 metres of this race. Yasmin Chan, not known potential. She's just got a good turn of pace in it in a 5k and 10k, but the Turkish athlete in 2nd place wouldn't want this to be that pedestrian, and it's not really increased the pace there through 400 metres.
It's quite clear that the women are also giving Yasmin Chan, who's got that very ungainly
Agate Karan of Latvia content to go to the front, 81 seconds through the first 800 metres. She's got a personal best of 8:59, so just right on that cusp of that top 6. She'll be thinking, if this stays slow, I could get out-kicked by some of the other athletes in there that might be better over 1,500 metres than me. Kane, European silver medalist over 5,000 metres. Tim, Phil brought our attention to that. Apologies,
Where did you find that?
Time
I'm going to have to start wearing a name tag.
I'm so sorry, Phil. Phil Minshaw. Kane here just content to sit at the front, but as you said, silver medalist from European Championship, age group championships. I love this from a young athlete. This is her first senior championships, and she's just gone, that's all right, I'm going to run at the front and make it a decent pace.
Oh, she's a great talent as well. You know, I saw her in Tallinn, really do a very good job in that. A very high quality for an under-20 race, 5,000 metres, and we haven't seen much more of her since then, but she's obviously very determined, and she's certainly injected a bit of pace over the last couple of laps. She brought it down from just inside 10 minutes and shaved off half a minute on the pace. Still nothing like as quick by a very long way as the first race. Now, as you can see on the left-hand side of your screen, down to 9.25 pace, but it is starting to ratchet up. Yasmin Chan with that awful ungainly arm action. And now Courtney Bryant starting to pick up the pace. Well, Courtney Bryant coming up to 9 laps undertaken, 6 laps to go. Now it seems to have just slowed once again. I thought Courtney Bryant was going to speed up there, and it just seems to be ebbing and flowing, drifting back.
It was still operating. We had a slow first 400, and then they dropped down to 9-minute pace, or just a shade under. The overall time won't indicate a time that's good, that's that fast. But I think this field is really going to start to splinter in the next few laps. The women have gone from running very slow to a very respectable pace, and they can cope with that because of the slow opening stages. But I do think they're really going to start to struggle over the next few laps. Melissa Courtney Bryant will sense that danger all around her. Great Britain, of course, on for 4 consecutive titles if herself or Hannah Nuttall could possibly overhaul Constanze Klosterhalfen. Unlikely, but it would be a lovely story for the nation.
One person who's looking at a little bit of danger at the moment, lying down in 7th place, is Nadia Batacleti. Looking very confident, but she's got an absolute wall of runners inside her. Still got a few laps to sort herself out, but she's a super talented athlete, the Italian. Made the Olympic 5,000 metres final. Now it's Yasmin Chan coming around the outside. Marta Garcia still gritting her teeth. The young Spaniard up there. So 4 laps to go. It's getting excited now. Yasmin Chan getting roared on by the crowd. Garcia following her. Hannah Klein 8:36 this year. She's got the talent and the credentials to challenge Yasmin Chan, but Chan now, well, she's left it until quite late in the race. Quite often we see her just really running from the front and running hard all the way.
Well, 7 women in that lead pack, 6 spots up for grabs. Agate Kauno of Latvia at the back at the moment, but she was the one that got this race going. Can she live with the lift of pace of the other athletes? Yasmin Chan, that turn of pace she had in Munich was phenomenal in the middle of the 10,000 metres. She's doing something similar here over the 3,000, but it is shorter. She's got kickers behind her. Hannah Klein, very proficient over 1,500 metres. Maureen Costa, of course, a sub-4-minute 1,500 metre runner on her day in her best form. And here comes Nadia Batacleti. Garcia, now the athlete, struggling at the back of this group of 7.
So just under 400 metres to go, and it's still Yasmin Chan at the front, towing the group along as she's done for the last couple of laps. Hannah Klein now, she can see, she's looking and seeing, and she's probably counting what's going on behind her and how many runners are there. Melissa Courtney Bryant, the former 2019 European indoor champion over this distance, in there as well, but starting to struggle a little bit. Klein though looking good. Costa, we haven't really spoken much about Maureen Costa. Very talented Dutch runner. And now Nadia Batacleti as Yasmin Chan drifts back. Hannah Klein takes up the running. So 100 metres to go, and it's Klein now stretching away. Chan starting to look tired and ragged. Batacleti though, plenty of running there. Oh, and Chan trips up over the heels of Batacleti, but I think that's Chan just tired, just slipping back, but no problems at all at the front for Hannah Klein. And Hannah Klein just striding away, comfortably home. It's Klein, Batacleti, Costa, and looks like Courtney Bryant in 4th place. We'll give you confirmation of the results, but Sure, those are the 1, 2, 3, 4. Chan ran up the back of Batacleti with just under 100 meters to go. Stayed on her feet but went backwards.
So Hannah Klein takes a
Heart was in my mouth in that last 100 metres. That's not what we wanted to see. Luckily, all the athletes did look like they stayed on their feet, kept both their shoes.
The results are scrolling through on the big
There's
screen.
Kosovo, Goethes,
Batacleti, Costa of the Netherlands is there.
and Yasmin Chan does get through as a automatic qualifier in 6th place, despite almost coming to grief there on the last lap.
I think that, for me, that's what I'd expect to see from an indoor championships over 3,000 metres. Very swift, 2:48 for the last K. Batacleti coped with that very well for me. Of course, she was at 7th place at the Olympic Games. That's very, very good, but she's better known as a cross-country runner, 5K runner. So for Batacleti to live with the likes of Hannah Klein in a wind-up race like that is very interesting. I just wonder whether Constanze Klosterhalfen will let us have a wind-up final tomorrow. I do like that, when you can see really how fast they can go in that last kilometre, maybe that second 1500. But Hannah Klein looking very comfortable.
My best for this year, because
We'll have to look back at the stats and see when the last time there was a German 1-2 in the women's 3,000 metres. But Klein, I get the impression sometimes some of the other German runners are overawed by Constanze Klosterhalfen. Seems to be the case with the likes of Alina Ray sometimes as well. I mean, as much as they might deny it, Klosterhalfen's talent has just shone through. But Hannah Klein looked very good in taking that victory in the second heat of the women's 3,000 metres. Confirmation of the times. There you can see Hannah Klein winning in 8:59. She'll be joined in the final by Batacleti of Italy, Costa of the Netherlands, Courtney Bryant of Great Britain.
Yesterday, Constanze Klosterhalfen. It was a brilliant 5K win in Munich in front of a home crowd. She's going to have stiff competition from Hannah Klein. Hannah Klein, for me there, just looking a tiny bit nervous. That's not what you want. Want someone looking nervous. Yasmin Chan, home hope. So many medals on the cross country. 4 consecutive titles. And a brilliant 10,000 metres in Munich.
Welcome back to the final.
Underway here in this 3,000, and we've been debating these larger fields in the endurance finals. 12 up to 15 in the 3,000, and that looks like an awful lot on your screen there, doesn't it? Especially they're running at a conservative pace here. Constanze Klosterhalfen out of trouble, very wide there. Her teammate and perhaps her biggest rival for this title pinned on the inside. If someone goes now, that suddenly makes that a very, very bad situation for Hannah Klein. Mr. Courtney Bryant. There goes Kone. We saw her do this yesterday. The youngster from Latvia straight to the front. 40 seconds through the first 200 metres. She waited 2 laps yesterday and just went, enough is enough. Kone of Latvia again to the front. Silver medalist over 5,000 metres. European Junior Championships. Ran very, very well. World Junior Championships over the last few years. These women have got to pay attention. Agate Cornet did this yesterday, and she faded ever so slightly, but not significantly. She's not an athlete you want to let run down the track. Marta Perez and Yasmin Chan, 2 athletes behind her, just trying to reel her back in. She's done a 34-second lap there. That's very, very quick. The overall time still very modest. But Agate Cornet of Latvia means business. Yasmin Chan first of the rest of the athletes to make contact with the Latvian there at the front, Constanze Klosterhalfen. Reluctantly, I think she was quite happy to jog for a little bit. Cornet, 35-second lap.
Well, as we were saying, very impressed with the attitude of Agate Cornet after that really sedentary first 200 metres when nobody seemed to want to take up the running. Cornet suddenly made this a very, very respectable race and thrown down the gauntlet, and they've gone from being bunched up and out in lane 4 to running almost in single file around this Ataköy arena. Well, Cornet, I have to confess, I don't have the Latvian record in front of me, but I wouldn't be at all surprised if she's having a go for it. Latvia's produced a couple of reasonable distance runners in the past, but this could well be a tilt at a national record for Cornet. Yasmin Chan tracking her. Well, Chan just unravelled so badly over the final couple of laps in her heat this morning. She's looking as though she's now full of running once again. The two-time European 10,000 metre champion outdoors. She never looks as though she's really happy running indoors, and I don't think people are happy running close to her with that really exaggerated swinging arm style. You were talking about elbows flying. Well, she contributes to some of those elbows being thrown around, I'm afraid to say. But now it's Klosterhalfen straight to the front. She's decided, well, with just under 10 laps to go, it's time to make a move. She's been there for a kilometre, and it's time for her to go. Chan still in second place at the moment. Klein has covered the break quite nicely. She got herself out of that very box position from earlier in the race, and the pace is gradually getting faster and faster.
Just 33 second lap at this point in the 3K. Oh, I was talking to Melissa Courtney-Bryant, the athlete in 4th place at the moment, on my flight over, and she said her and her coach were talking, and it's almost like Klosterhalfen strangles the field. She just ratchets up the pace bit by bit, and that's a really big injection of pace. Constanze Klosterhalfen is asking massive questions of this field. The overall pace, 8:49, had a slow first lap, but they got moving 3 minutes through the first kilometre. Yasmin Chan did her best to go with Klosterhalfen, but Hannah Klein and Melissa Courtney-Bryant got a decision to make here. They've got to commit, get the back onto the back of Klosterhalfen. She can't maintain 33 second lapping. That is too quick, and already it looks like Klosterhalfen has stepped off the gas ever so slightly. She's allowed Hannah Klein and Melissa Courtney-Bryant back into the picture. Those three starting to separate themselves from the field. Maureen Costa of the Netherlands is a very gutsy runner. She's leading the chase pack at the moment. Will she try and close that gap up to Melissa Courtney-Bryant?
Well, the pace has just got quicker and quicker, and it's now boiled down to 3 women at the front, and then a good 15-metre gap back to Maureen Costa, bronze medalist from 2017. And Costa now, well, it's all starting to look as though these are the 3 medalists. Can Costa bridge that gap? Also in that group, Nadia Battocletti, the highly rated Italian, who was an Olympic 5,000 metre finalist 2 years ago in Tokyo. But Battocletti looks as though she's struggling a little bit as well. It's Klosterhalfen leading Klein and Courtney-Bryant. Klosterhalfen, well, she's maintained the tempo over the last couple of laps. She hasn't increased it, and now she's put in just another surge. You can almost visibly see it. Courtney-Bryant looking as though she's struggling to hang on there. Klein gritting her teeth.
The determination on Hannah Klein. She's staring at the heels of Klosterhalfen. She clearly came into this race with one goal. Do not let Constanze Klosterhalfen get away. Hannah Klein has got a great hit kick. So is Klosterhalfen. Klosterhalfen, a sub-4 runner. She soloed that back when she was a younger athlete. Wow, 2:49 second kilometre. That is super, super quick, and you can see the damage it's done to the field. 3 minutes through the first kilometre, 2:49 for the second. They could still be on for a clocking of around about 8:40 off a very, very slow opening lap or so. Respectable but not quick first kilometre of 3 minutes, and it's destroyed this field. Hannah Klein and Constanze Klosterhalfen are going to trade blows. It's 4 laps to go this time round on the clock.
Yes, Klosterhalfen, championship record of Laura Muir's from Glasgow in 2019 of 8:30.61. Disappeared out of sight with that sluggish first kilometre, but Klosterhalfen now has just been surging and pulling the field apart. Looking at the faces of Klein, Klein is sticking to her task and staying with her. So too Courtney-Bryant, although Courtney-Bryant now just starting to slip away. But looking at the faces of the women in the pack behind them, from Costa to Battocletti, they don't know what's hit them. They're straining and they're grimacing. It's Klosterhalfen now with 3 laps to go.
Klosterhalfen of Germany, she'll be able to sense Hannah Klein on her heels feel like Hannah Klein surely got to have clipped her teammate Constanze Klosterhalfen, because they are just running so close to each other. Melissa Courtney-Bryant doing everything she can to stay in touch with these two. At this stage for Melissa Courtney-Bryant, I think it's going to be just trying to pay attention, to focus, concentrate, because if either of these top two have got it wrong, if they've stretched each other too far in their efforts to beat each other, Melissa Courtney-Bryant could pick up the pieces. Maureen Costa of the Netherlands is fighting hard behind, but Melissa Courtney-Bryant has got a buffer of around about 20 metres, 30 metres on Costa. The battle is on for gold and silver. Klosterhalfen does have a kick. She does have the track credentials to win a sprint finish, but Hannah Klein has looked very good this season. She picked up a bronze medal at these championships 2 years ago, and she has lowered her 1500 metre best. That medal came in the 1500, and she has run a better 1500 metre time than she ever has before. It's the bell. Klosterhalfen still in the lead. Hannah Klein looked like she was going to have a go at getting past Klosterhalfen. This is a battle royale between the two German athletes. No nation has ever gone 1-2. Klosterhalfen starting to strain. Can she hold off Hannah Klein? They come through with 100 metres to go, and Hannah Klein has hit the front. She's got to strike now. She's got to go. Klosterhalfen is so brave, so strong in the closing stages. If she has anything left, she could come back at Hannah Klein. Hannah Klein goes to the hands. She was fourth at the European Cross Country Championships, agonisingly close to a medal, and she wins the European Indoor 3,000 metre title here. That's a bit of a shock. She has looked phenomenal this season, but to overhaul Constanze Klosterhalfen is something not many women in Europe can do. The silver medal for Klosterhalfen, matching her efforts from the European Cross Country Championships. Personal best for Hannah Klein, a sedate first kilometre, and a brilliant, well-judged bronze medal for Melissa Courtney-Bryant in third.
Well, Courtney-Bryant stayed with the two Germans for much of that race, and I'm sure that towed her to a bronze medal. In the end, it was a wise tactic. She may not have overthought that, as we look at Emilie Machal coming in 15th place. The Turk bringing up the rear, but a brave run from her. Firstly, to make the final.
This is just that last 30-40 metres. Hannah Klein pulling out that 1500 metre sprint technique of hers. There was no chance of Klosterhalfen getting back on terms with that. I just got to think back to Turin and the European Championships, where we had Klosterhalfen in second, Alina Ray in third, Hannah Klein in fourth, Miriam Dapke in fifth. It was a brilliant day for the German team. Winner of the women's 3,000 metres, Hannah Klein in a personal best of 8:35. Constanze Klosterhalfen with the silver medal, 8:36. And Melissa Courtney-Bryant in bronze with 8:41.